Hello, hello. Hello, Kushp. Hello, Hooded. Hello, Neptuni and Rain. Good to see you as always. How are the four of you doing today? And the other five of you that are currently in chat. How are all of you today? Okay. Seb, hello. Let's see, where is shameless self-promotion here? Hello, Ian. Hello, 2-4. I am having a wonderful day. Had myself a little bit of food. Have myself a nice thermos of fruit juice. That was my oh crap, I should be streaming already alarm. But I'm already streaming, so I'm fine. Content feed or creator links. Content feed. Content feed. There we go. Shamelessly promoting across all corners of the globe. Okay. This is a damn good mix so far. Okay. Bit Van Bite, how are you doing today? Bit Van Bite. A stream, nice, yes. Every Saturday there is a stream, without fail. Unless something emergency pops up, there is a stream. So we're at 444, what's displayed as 431, so... let's start working on this. So that was Rovax. That puts us at 432. 433, 434, 435, 436, 437, 438. Oh, big sorry. 439, 40, 441. 3 happened while I was away and nobody was here to and it doesn't show on this list. Made a training dummy earlier. GOMC construct on top of one of those dendro slimes that pops out of the ground. When you hit it enough, it was glitched, couldn't jump out of the ground. Dummy tested as long as GOMC construct. Neat. Just hoping to say hi, it's 4 AM, have a great stream. Understandable, Arby. Just want to let you know before you before you duck, dip, dive, dodge, and dip out to go to bed, if you are a respectable human being. That video is probably coming out Monday, not Sunday, just due to some time constraints I am going to have tomorrow. I probably will not have enough time to completely finish it. But we will have to wait and see. Just giving you a heads up. Let's see. No problem. And it says we're only at 441. We're at 444 on Twitch itself. We want to keep these accurate, so we're just going to repeat the last 3 again. The fact that they don't link up 100%. How do I know I will get GANYU? It's simple. I've put money aside. I'm gonna swipe with that card. You'll all be spending money? I normally don't spend that much. It's just her that is making me spend. I need an ice unit, and none of the ice units in the game currently really interest me. To be brutally honest. They don't really interest me. How the hell do you think Bahoyo is spending so much money? I don't know, maybe the top 1% are spending like 10,000 each, so that the 99% of us that are plebeians can spend their just battle pass money or just welcome pass money and be fine. The trailer was a huge bait, especially the ending? Isn't that what usually happens in mobile games? How are you doing today, SKJ? Skajinskadix. Skajinskadix. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I assume it's not meant to be pronounced. That's a big just. Yes, in most mobile games, 90% of revenue comes from the top 3% of spenders. Yep. Yeah, like it depends on the game, and it goes from game to game. I know of one gacha game where about the top 1% was 90%, but I also remember another gacha game where like 90% of the community was 95% of the purchases. And it was really fairly linear throughout the entire curve because it was just so much stuff of good value that caused people to spend, but there wasn't a massive means to spend a ridiculous amount of money. But that was a very unique gacha game in that they entice people to more pay for like monthly subscriptions rather than dump hundreds of dollars for a single unit. Game is really fun with free to play, although it isn't bad if you spend a bit here or there. Essentially, gambling is really dangerous though, exactly. When an oil sheik and a Wall Street trader get into a fight, who wins? The developer. Yes. Secondhand smoke is no joke, kids. If you have the disposable income, it's fine to spend. That being said, it gets bad when people spend more than they can afford. Part of the design of these games is intentionally making the cap on spending very, very high or infinite, just because probability says someone will spend that much if they can. Putting a $900 bottle of wine on the menu, so on and so forth. Even spending disposable income on a gacha/gambling when you are never guaranteed is questionable. I mean, it is questionable. But at the same time, here's how I personally recommend or value my spending in gacha games. Or like in games in general. It doesn't matter if it's a gacha game, it doesn't matter if I go to a movie theater, it doesn't matter if I go to an actual casino, it doesn't matter where I go. This is typically where I value my spending, and this is going to be something that I think we can do a bit of a discussion while we start getting the game actually playing. So let's get volumes brought into level. Boost that by -6.5. But yeah, how I value my particular spending is I've grown up with video games, and I've grown up on video games that are costing between... Hello, Blink Shady! How are you doing today? But I've grown up on games costing between $59.99 and $79.99. So games typically, but way back when, were $59.99 up until they started making them more expensive in Canada because Canadian land doesn't have Canadian dollars anymore, or at least they're not valued like dollars.
Which should I choose?
So, CAD game prices, it's now $80 instead of $60. But most games nowadays, you get about another 10 to 20 hours out of the gameplay over what you did back then, just because there's more stuff to do in them, or they're bigger, more open world experiences trying to make you then spend money on DLC, or a bunch of other stuff. But essentially how I value myself is, there was a game that I used to play called Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. I don't know if you guys know of it. It's a game made by GUMI, and GUMI's relatively infamous in the gacha game community for the practices that they practice. But I had fun while I played the game. So, how I value myself is, if a game is capable of giving me a number of hours of total entertainment or total investment time, something to keep me distracted for an exemplary amount of time, where it comes out to about $1 or $1.50. $1 or $1.50 per hour played. So if the game costs $80 and you get 60 hours out of it, that's a pretty good deal. You're sitting there like, that's still kind of expensive for a game. It's $80, but you have to sit down and think of it at the end of the day. Yeah, but going to the movie theater for a 2-hour movie is like up here. If you actually get even just a drink when you go in, you're spending almost $15 for 2 hours. So that's $7.50 a movie. Or $7.50 an hour of entertainment. You go to a casino, you're probably spending more depending on where exactly you're going for your entertainment. Instant 30 viewers, I am aware, Miku. How are you doing today? What game, sorry? Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Or FFBE. But, yeah, so, like, a lot of the time when you go out to look at stuff, you go to a go-kart track, you go to the movie theater, you go out and you have yourself a good meal with a bunch of friends to have entertainment, or you go out to, like, an event or something like that. They don't really... Maple Leafs hockey game I don't have to worry about, because I used to work at the arena and I know people, so I get in for free, but that's me personally. But the game's not shut down. Or it is, or it wasn't last I checked, but it could have been. Brave Exvius is the, Brave Exvius is the, 2D one, not the 3D one, which was, Final Fantasy Mobius. Mobius was... But, as I was saying, the amount of money you spend at something has a value at the end of the day based off what it gives you. But most entertainment sources, you have movies, going out for drinks, going out for a dinner, going out to like a bar and enjoying a band, going out to a concert. going to like go-karts, going to a racetrack and throwing your car around the racetrack for some fun. Anything you do is going to come with a cost, and all those costs are expensive. What I'm saying is that video games are relatively cheap forms of entertainment because they keep you enticed for a very long period of time for the amount of money that you pour into the games. So in my mind, if you're a gacha gamer playing a gacha game and you put 60 hours into that game, I 100% can understand if you put $60 into that game to get a unit. Because at the end of the day, that game gave you the same amount of time of investment as like a AAA game should. Or should come close to, depending on the kind of experience it is.
Ancient alchemy truly is fascinating.
You're like, Welkin is 25 cents for a wish, but at the same time, how much time have you put into the game? Where do you put down your hands down value over how much money is the entertainment the game gives you worth? Do you spend an hour each day, every day? If you spend an hour each day, every day, that's 30 hours a month. You can put $30 in the game a month, which, especially for the American side of things, is probably a battle pass plus a welcome pass. And you're still coming out to less than $1 an hour based off of your time. Cheapest entertainment is watching other people, well, you don't consider it entertainment, but at the same time, you should. You're spending time watching a dude, or you're spending time playing a game and doing it versus doing something else. So it's either keeping you entertained or it's being in existence something for you to do. And at the end of the day, yeah, FGO is kind of the exception to the rule. But yeah, going back to Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I've played that game for a total of, say, about 4 years. So I played it when it first came out in 2015. And I played it up until 2018 or 2019. So I put about 4 to 5 hours into that. I put 4 to 5 years into that game. And I basically tallied up the average amount of time that I played because I kept track, because I was interested. Hello, Criskel, how are you doing? And in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I wound up spending probably a total of about 4,000 hours just invested in that game, over buying the latest Call of Duty and playing that for like 20 hours, then buying this game and then buying that game. And so yes, I threw some money in the game. Luckily, you've always had to look at your motivation for spending that time on whatever entertainment you're doing, because you want to, or you're doing it through the motions, etc. Like a lot of the times when I wanted to spend money on the game, and I wanted to decide whether it was worth spending money on the game, I would look at it that way, but a lot of the time I don't care and I'll spend it on it anyways. It's just, funnily enough, not really caring about how I spent money on the game, but keeping track of the money that I did spend, I wound up coming out, at the end of the day, to about 75 cents per hour played of spending in the game, which, for a free-to-play game, seems like a lot, because the game's supposed to be free. But at the end of the day, I managed to get key units that I wanted, so that I had the team members that I wanted to use when I played the game. Now, I will admit that Final Fantasy Brave Exvius tried to entice you to spend more money than most, because literally every banner ever was a step-up banner, so you weren't guaranteed anything till you finished spending like 4 or 5 pities worth of rolls to guarantee whatever unit you were specifically getting. Some banners didn't even have guaranteed pities. And then there was the whole, once they had 5 stars, then they unlocked 6-star system, and then once they had 6 stars, they eventually launched the 7-star system, which was literally Wales exclusive. Or you were extremely lucky, like me, and got a couple key units to have the amount you needed. Then they launched the NV system, which was effectively 8 or 9 stars, but was summon exclusive. You couldn't upgrade a unit to that tier, which was ridiculously stupid. where you come from also impacts how expensive Genshin is, which is unfortunate for some people. Yeah, because some games like Epic 7 or not having played a gacha before period, or having played something like Azure Lane or Kontai Collection, from which I hear are fairly cheap in the grand scheme of
Didn't
things.
keep you waiting, did I?
Genshin looks to be a lot more expensive, even though it's probably the average. Well, technically, since there is no PvP or hard endgame content, Genshin is not really expensive. But you get what we mean, which is 100% reasonable. So, it's so much fun as a free-to-play. Spending money sometimes is buying progress, which you can get boring. Azure Lane is free because you only pay for skins. Yes, that means it's incredibly cheap. But at the same time, I don't know, but maybe each skin is 60 bucks. As long as you play for 2 to 3 hours a day, which is reasonable. If you play for 3 hours a day, to make everything in terms of collection, apart from skins, free, that's perfectly fine. Honestly, that's really, really favorable, which is probably where a lot of players have come from. They've come from Azure Lane. They've come possibly from Kontai. I don't know what Kontai's specific ecosystem is like. At the end of the day,
Everybody stand back! Nice and spicy!
no, you're not allowed.
Time for takeoff.
Oh, come on, really? Venti, really?
Nice and spicy! Dumpy, dumpy, go! Teamwork is trick! Dumpy, dumpy, go!
Ah, shite. Shi's not.
Adventure time!
Shi's not. Hello, Sully!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Haha, I'm just gonna face tank everything from you, my man.
Nice and spicy! Eat this! Brace yourself!
And we're doing good. We're doing good. 21 auto damage, Pog. I know, right? From Breath of the Wild, total cost has been 17 cents per hour. See what I mean? Like, you can get really good value out of games that are very adventurous, but at the same time, they're not wholly dense experiences. So how much value a certain kind of experience tends to differ. If you're playing through a true and true RPG, the true and true RPG will range between $1.50 an hour, because that RPG will typically have between 60 and 120 hours of play. Now, I mean, it could have longer if you're bad or if you're farming for explicitly every single achievement or stuff, but for a year of Arknights, I spent around 600 for the year. Most of that was skins, yeah. You got Alfredo in 60 rolls? Oof. Let's go. Scrolling back up. Best way to enjoy Genshin, $, to enjoyment probably to prioritize characters' looks and personality over meta and enjoy the quest and open world. Exactly. It's 100% what I feel. Again, hello Max Sally. Genshin, horrible game to show someone new to our world. It's not the worst game. I mean, you could show them to anything Gumi's put out. Gumi is horrible. They have freaking VIP systems that gives you daily rewards based off how much you have spent on the game. The more you spend, the more rewards you get a day. And it's continuous thing. It isn't like a paid subscription. Once you've spent $1,000 in the game, you are that tier of VIP for life. So it entices people to drop so much money super fast into the game's lifespan, and then all of a sudden, they're like 20 hours in, and they spent $1,000. Which is bad. Seb says, sure, but some people enjoy the min-max stuff, and that's fine too, which is, yeah, perfectly reasonable. Yeah, I get one character I want and then decide on powerful characters for comps that you want 100%. And you can min-max without spending, with off-meta units still. I think Knights won the top #1 game in China, and Genshin was second. Yeah, neat. That kind of makes sense. Hello, Pandoran Stallion. I take it Butt Stallion was already taken. You have no regrets not rolling for Zhongli because you want GANYU, but on the other hand, I'm skipping anything in 1.3 for whenever Venti or Zhong reruns. 100% reasonable. I have FOMO from Zhongli just because of the current looks like he's going to get for his buffs, but we're going to have to wait and see how that pans out. For someone who wills both, let me say, for Year of Arcanite, you spent around 600. You'll spend 20 to 40 bucks on a short indie game if it's interesting enough. Yeah. Like, what game was it that I spent only... I think it was Star Wars The Last Jedi. I spent maybe 30 hours beating that game. And I spent, what was it, $70 on it? But I still found the experience worth it. So it doesn't mean it has to be $1 an hour. It's just... For me, I have to feel that the amount of money I spent an hour is worth it for me to say that the entertainment was worth the money. If Genshin is predatory, then Epic 7 E7 is Apex? Or FGO? E7 isn't even Apex. Because a lot of the time in Epic 7, you don't need every single unit. That's the one thing that Epic 7 is good at. You don't need every unit. The only time you really need issues... Now, I'm not a new player. I played Epic 7 since launch, so I had almost everything that wasn't limited. So, my experience might vary slightly from other people. It's only if you care for the PvP as well, yes. But even then, I found PvP in that game incredibly entertaining. Well, that's all of Genshin currently. The Genshin difficulty will spike as the game progresses, so newer players will probably be enticed to spend more money. But that's besides the point.
Good.
I mean, Epic 7 has done some really good stuff to make things viable. Even in terms of going up the PvP ladder, up until about the last 2 tiers, on just free-to-play units or units you can get from gacha getting your 4 stars, your random 5-star if you save up to pull. Some are great, some have issues since their kits are meant for tutorial purposes. You rarely pay for power. Yeah. Smarter free-to-play players will still be able to use their resources smart in gacha and complete basically anything Genshin throws at it? Probably, because of how they're going to do the difficulty. They're going to want it to be more accessible.
Off we go.
Accessibility looks to be something that they're heavily focusing on.
Off we go.
Thank you very much for the fall, COVID Swag Teen. That's an interesting name. Oh no, did we get the bug? Did we get the bug? I do not want the bug. No bug, please. Okay, no, the bug is gone. Hello, I want to move. Thank you.
Can get away. Nice and spicy. Going in.
Kill people. Use the big guy to trigger all the mines.
Get them. Teamwork is dreamwork. Here we go. Boing, boing, boom. Nice and spicy. Here we go. I'm going in. La la la.
And kill. You know, do the normal stuff. They've also done a pretty good job making sure power creep isn't a problem. Yeah. But at the same time, I also know a guy who hasn't put that much money into the game. Name's Ninja, but he's thrown a bunch of just time into existence. And he's pretty high up there on the list. You don't need to specifically do stuff. Is this a good guy to follow for weapons artifacts, or is there something maybe better? It's a decent guide, but my heavy recommendation spin is !Discord gets you to my specific Discord, where you can then reference this sheet and ask us for our particular opinions, because then we can give you ideas of what best to spend on based off our personal experiences, rather than just looking at a sheet and hoping that the data on it is 100% valuable.
These bombs, so heavy.
Just 100% hope he's not the norm. 100%. Like, if Jong, his manner, becomes the norm for anything that isn't 100% top tier, at least on the Archon side of things, means you have to roll every Archon if you want to have the units that have the most powerful abilities, even if they don't launch that way. For fear of missing out. And that's the big issue that I had for that kind of stuff. You just spend time wandering around the world sometimes. Yeah, I do too. I do too. I'm looking to go out and get a program that auto pans my mouse, so I can get nice pan shots of the gameplay to actually put in my videos. It's just I'm not capable of smooth movement. Smooth mouse movement, not smooth movement. What am I smoking? New Abyss was tailor-made for Jong. I really hope they change it before the buff. I don't think they're going to necessarily change it because they focused it on ice and stuff, so it is going to focus on the next few series of characters. If anything, they'll change it again in 1.3 for Pyro and Animo if they do that, but they probably won't. Hey Cleeful, what's up? Hello Falco CMR! How are you doing today? They are re-releasing Zhongli, so it is likely won't happen much. I mean, if they re-release him as the buff happens, I'll be fine. If they're re-releasing him at a date later than the buff, and we don't have a set date when his buff goes live, the issue stands. That's exactly how I feel. Hello, Osser. And that is, but again, that's exactly where my issue stands. If he doesn't re-release the day his buff goes live, it's an issue. It may not be an issue that's necessarily immediately relevant, but the fact that the standard has been set, where if they release a unit, they are willing to buff him, or state they're going to buff him when he launches. But then they've also proven that those buffs are not going to be nerfed or buffed, or going to be the same. They can be buffed or nerfed, so you're going to have that fear of missing out. And you don't have, and there is no alleviation if he doesn't drop a banner when those debuffs go live. That immediately sets you into an entire set of circumstances. That is not nice to be in.
Time for takeoff. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Like, I understand 100%. This game is going to have difficulty with gems and a bunch of other means of, like, obtaining. Oh, really?
Couldn't break the curse.
That did not go well. I got chain stunned there.
Here we go. Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Oh, really?
Teamwork is dreamwork.
And we're good. We can survive.
Think you can get away? Everybody stand back!
I hate these mines. Heal up.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
I really don't understand why there's sometimes a lot of hits done on that and sometimes not a lot of hits done. Resin Pass is not bad. It don't refresh because I prefer new characters, even if it's suboptimal.
Adventure time.
It still gives a lot of, but it still gives a lot of resin for $5. Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm going in. Think you can get away? Get them! Teamwork is dreamwork.
Swap. Feed energy.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Think you can get away?
Ow. Ow.
Oh, no. My lyre is broken.
The timing on that can be so bad.
Everybody stand back.
Relying on not Klee is bad for DPS. Okay, going back. Oracle the Great! Hello! How are you doing today? Glad to see you can make it up to stream. Hello, Shinku. Those mines are an absolute pain. This entire run has been absolute pain. Pain, suffering, and misery. I both hope and don't hope Jong gets a rerun, because then I'm going to be torn with if Venti reruns before 1.5. 100% reasonable. Why does this look so familiar? Oh yeah, you saw you've just been quiet. 100% reasonable. I've also been kind of quiet. I had to focus a bit there because I did not want to lose. Though, I bet that was effectively a loss. There's no way that run was not a big loss. Any specific piece I'm going for? Anything that isn't the hat. I need a second piece. And I will level up a second piece, probably a flower or something else, something with a main stat so that it will always be viable. Just I need a second piece for GANYU once she launches. Don't say that. No, it's not specifically that running this team without Klee is a lack of DPS. It's my Klee is where a lot of my DPS is. Just because of how Jingcho is built and how little investment Zhongling has. How do I feel in a non-mono comp Cleeful? You always want to run Viridescent Veneer unless you're focusing on an emo damage. Going 2VV plus 2 no can potentially be more damage. I personally just prefer VV because it's so cheap. If you make something where the point that 2VV, 2 noblesse is better than 4VV, you've probably invested enough in Venti that it doesn't matter what you're doing, you've trivialized the content. Just hands down. How many damage does Swirl? It depends, it does scale. Time to go do the 5 things so I can get the next work on getting the next tier of thing. But how do I feel about it? I can see it being viable, but I personally heavily value just the capability of 2VV set. So you have to do a hell of a lot of damage. Not like NO, when you have God stats, is overall better on Venti because Venti just does that much damage. Hands down, he just does that much damage that he can make up for the lack of that debuff, depending on the rest of your comp. Unless the rest of your comp is equally God rolled, hands down, that is 100% a viable strategy. But yeah, like, don't go... Other than VV, you should always go sets that you get the best rolls on, rather than just go for a set specifically for the set bonus. Does 4-piece VV Zhao on alt work better with C6 Fischl? We don't know. We don't know what Zhao does. Maybe Zhao never auto-attacks. Maybe he plunges. I don't even know if plunge affects C6 Fischl. So that's entirely dependent on Zhao when he releases in the testing. So I'm not going to make a claim on that because we have no idea. The node domain is so good, everything is useful. You can make it through the entire game and never have a use for Bloodstained. You could go through the entire game and never have a use for it. His auto chain is sexy? That's probably the case. Okay, I've already fed the foxes.
Off we go.
Like, the only character I would ever run Bloodstained on, which is Bennett, currently in my roster that I have leveled. I have Gladiator on, and Gladiator's better than 4-piece... than 2-piece Gladiator plus 2-piece Bloodstained, or 2-piece Bloodstained plus something else. Because it's just on normal attacks, and Bennett doesn't usually charge attack too much. And even then, I want to remove him for something else.
Adventure time. Everybody stand back. Nice and spicy.
Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Does the Fox reset at 4 AM? I think it resets on day reset, whenever that happens to be, so it should be 4 AM, yeah. So just 2 Bloodstain plus 2 Noblesse for C damage, C2 plus Xinyan ult bot? Yeah, that seems about right. What set am I running? I'm running 4-piece Gladiator because that's what I got. That's what I got that had good stats. my witch farming has not been fruitful in the slightest. That's the only case when it becomes to mind that Bloodstained is to be best in slot. Even then, it might not be best in slot. You might want to run her on, let's say, 2-piece Exile. Sure, you lose a bit of damage, but you have a better chance at maintaining having the ultimate, because she needs a lot of energy generation. Or you could be better off going Gladiator, because you're still going to be using her for other stuff. Or you could be better at giving her some extra defense. We don't know. It's not always hands down the best thing, which is the most interesting thing of all. Okay, who still survived? You. No. You are to drown. Thank you. Materials. I have 3 Godwitch flowers. You got pretty lucky? Yeah, that's understandable, Billy. I am doing good, Certus. How are you doing? Ah, good stuff. Fruit juice is the best, especially when it's made. Bloodstain still gives you more damage than no. If you replace with Exile, you would remove the no first. Yeah, but that also 100% depends on your substats. 15% damage equates to like 20% crit damage, so you just need a couple of better rolls on Noblesse set, and the Noblesse set is equal if not better. So it's entirely dependent on your substats at that point. Like, that's what a lot of people don't understand, is just how much value substats have over set bonus.
We've only just begun.
Get the... Here we go.
Stay from your there. Send this quickly.
Ah, shit.
Let's not waste time. You can't run.
Yeah, shit.
Looks like I went too far.
Brace yourself. Boba, get them.
Drop a Goba. Goba doesn't have that bad of a range now that I see it at its peak. Now we're good. Thank you for saying enjoy the stream. They're kind words, and I greatly appreciate them. Very much so. More so than some people might think. Okay. Tooth is here somewhere. I think it's here. Is it here? Yeah, it's here.
Shouldn't get careless. Detoxifying heat. You need a burrito. This one's well done.
And wham. True, the substats will make up for the 5% difference between Bloodstained and no. I was just talking about in a vacuum. Yeah, in a vacuum, it makes sense, but that's best in slot at equal investments. You're right, and it's probably the only case. And the only reason it's the only case is because that's an ultimate that basically hits every enemy as if they had a weak spot. So we're talking about a character that has a physical ultimate, who's the only character in the game to have it, and is the only character in the game to have a guaranteed crit ultimate. And it is locked behind Constellations, which you could just never be lucky enough to get. So it is a very niche amongst niche cases, but it does exist. You are correct, Osser. So yeah, there is a single unit in the game where it is best in slot. Thank you very much for the follow. Bonnie has Twitch. It's greatly appreciated. It helps grow the channel. How has the stream been going? The stream's been going fairly well. Fairly well. Not a perfect. I'm pretty sure I already got that chest, didn't I? Did I already get that? Oh no, that's one of the breakable platforms for walking across. Okay, no, we're good. Oh, I missed one? Shit. There we go. And we're good. But stream's been going fairly good. Surprisingly good over the past few days. We've had very good viewership numbers. Good community involvement. Do you like animation canceling with Klee? I like the fact that they exist. I don't do it because in the middle of combat I'm more worried about making sure I don't eat crap and that I'm actually hitting the attack buttons properly, rather than actually making sure I do the proper cancels. But that's just me. By the way, anyone know whether the co-op portion of the treasure hunt event is random, or if you have to search for it or something? I don't know. I haven't even done the new event yet. I saved it for today. Like, I have not yet done this. Someone showed me this, and now I'm sad because there are a lot of chests I'm still missing, even after combing the entire Mondstadt and Leeway with the compass. Could be stuff even locked behind other stuff. Apparently it's bugged for some people. It could be. Interesting. But we're gonna go talk to this treasure guy. Thank you, Weretag. How are you doing today? To be fair, I'll never complete the co-op part of the new event because all my friends quit the game after finding out the gacha rates. Oof. This treasure-seeking Sealy has suddenly stopped paying any attention to me, so I'm in a bit of a fix. You can speak to a Sealy? You wouldn't call it speaking. That would be exaggerating. We're ultimately the guide and the guided. I picked this fellow up inside a ruin. It was trapped at that time. Took me quite a bit of effort to extricate it, too. I guess it must have wanted to thank me. After that, it would sometimes lead me to find some treasure. I actually made quite the pile with its help. But for whatever reason, the Sealy stopped paying me any mind as of late. If you ask me, I think it's looking for a new partner. I daren't give it away carelessly, but I can't find any reliable hands to team up with at short notice either. You could look for your companions. Companions? Ha! Bunch of greedy churls they are. I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. To say nothing of working with them. What color Sealy am I thinking about swapping? Gacha rates are abysmal? I mean, they're not the worst. To be fair, they're not the worst. 0.6 is about what I would expect from a gacha game. But then again, this is me coming from gacha games where rates are 0.5 to 0.3. And then pity exists. There's games where pity just doesn't exist. Fate, go. But typically it either has a pity or a decent rate, and the decent rate on pity comes from the existence of pity. I have no idea what color Sealy I want. We're going to have to make that decision later on down the line. 800 here you get a lot. That's at least 6 to 8 4-stars, guaranteed. Companion, da-da-ba-da. If we didn't need the extra information and leads, I'd have left them a long time ago. How about this? What would you say to working with me, traveler? I'm no expert in Sealy communication. It doesn't matter. The way I see it, this treasure-seeking Sealy took a real shine to you the moment it saw you. It didn't react at all when it saw those companions of mine. Let me tell you that. So, how about it? What say we team up and earn ourselves a pretty sum? Well, I'll give it a go. Haha! Great. Partners then. Come, take this treasure-seeking Sealy. You're partners in this venture too, after all. So, about this treasure-seeking business? I don't have the resources to build many characters anyways, 100%. You're guaranteed what you want within a certain amount, which is better than a lot of gadgets. Yep. Like, it's one thing to get a character who has a shiny card, but just does something better than another low rarity character, and a new character with a full model and a different animation set and complete playstyle. Yep, 100%. It won't lead you to the spot where the treasure is hidden, but it will give you hints as to whether treasure is nearby or far away. Basically, it'll twinkle, see? Also, this fellow isn't all that fond of popping out most of the time, so you'll have to wake it up from time to time. Once it's awake, it'll guide you. But it doesn't stay out for very long, so you're going to have to focus. Alright, when you go treasure hunting with it, you might also encounter some iron coins to go with your loot. Most merchants won't take this ancient currency, but you can give them to me instead. I have my uses for them. You can trade them to me for some suitable rewards as well. As for the size of that reward, well, that'll depend on the amount of iron coins you have. And lastly, this book is for you. The locations marked out in this book most certainly have treasure. It is based on information that I have spent much time gathering. Unfortunately, the treasure-seeking Sealy stopped listening to me before I could find these treasures. So I suppose I could only rely on you now. Happy hunting! So I got the treasure-seeking Sealy. We've got a new book. If you equip the treasure-seeking Sealy from your inventory, you can summon it when in a treasure area. However, if you are not in a treasure area, or if you are inside a treasure area but too far from the treasure-seeking Sealy will not answer your summons. Blah 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 blah. It glows brighter the closer you are until you get there, and iron coins are the things that you trade to this boy. So we got event details, treasure area 1. Okay. Let's go swap characters.
Behold,
Official,
the Princess of
Albedo,
Let's investigate this.
and we're good to go. Oh, yeah, I should probably equip the treasure-seeking Sealy. I am a Pokemon trainer. Hey! Lots of stuff. There it is.
There's no end to this.
Oh, hello, treasure hunters.
Burst forward.
Have fun with my Pokemon. I'm gonna wait for more Pokemon.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Okay. Any treasure up in here? Yes, there is. Clee's range is slightly larger than Albedo's circle. Slightly larger. But it's fairly close.
There's no end to this.
Bennett's Pokemon team. How is the Festering Desire compared to HOD on Albedo? Really good. Not necessarily better or worse. Different. Different build case, different focus.
Adventure time. Off we go.
At the end of the day, it's all based around what you want to use. I'm using HOD just because it was cheap, and Bennett's using Festering Desire. Just launch you. And that should trigger the bomb, kill everything. Yes, it did. Treasure, Sealy, let's go find a treasure. Should be something this way. I hope it's the gold standard for welfare weapons. I do too. Like, even if we were to get stuff like Rancor or something like that, Rancor would be a really great weapon at R5 if they just hand it to you at R5. It's what a lot of people don't realize is R5 is a huge power scale on any weapon. It doesn't matter the weapon. Crap. 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 Sunsetia. Okay. I've still got some more stuff to find. If they actually drop prototypes. I mean, like, I'm not saying to drop the prototypes. What I'm saying is that any weapon, even something as simple as Prototype Rancor, when launched, if given to you R5, would be great. The first 9 people to take the Hunter.exe exam and pass. That's great. I'm gonna have to take a look at it again to see if I can't particularly designate roles in chat in our stuff, but that we're gonna have to wait and see about that, because I'm also looking at making Osser a mod for just, you know, adding bots and stuff, depending on how fast you get your stuff working. Shadow was actually really impressed with the format. Yeah. I might have my own tweaks to make to the format, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we can chat about it in the upcoming days, because I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow, because I want to spend the time working on the video, because I'm going to be out of the house for most of the day. Oh, it'll definitely be of use to me in the server at some point. Wait, no treasures nearby? Did we get everything? We got everything. Cool.
Never could have been thinking I would know what the future bring. All the highs and lows. Said I'm gonna win, though the world might spin. Now I'm sitting here like I'm no
Bennett, I also, speaking of which, need to put that on Reddit so I can get more people on stream. We can do that after my first, now would probably be a good time. By the way, yeah?
just don't get enough from me.
Oh, you can just see the event screen? Yeah, I'm still gonna come by anyway. Which color of Sealy do I want?
Just don't get enough from me.
That should be OP, yeah? If you're using Fischl as an auto attacker, it'll be fairly good. Typically, that team works better specifically with Sucrose. Was inspired by the Jinx Sucrose thing. Sucrose is better at that. Pet slimes when Venti as the attacker? No. No, Venti's auto attack is bad. I'm sorry, Venti's auto attack is just straight bad.
Just don't get enough from me.
I mean, you could also use Animo MC. You could use Animo MC. It's typically better than Venti for that particular team. And, like, other than Beto, everything you have is projectile-based. You don't have to worry about it flying away. Venti is cool, yes, but Venti doesn't work in that team. Does he work? Kind of. He's just not amazing at it. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do with it.
Just don't get enough from me. Wanna go back in time when
Hello, Boo!
so clear.
A team that Venti doesn't work in? Well, Venti still works in it. It's just a matter of there are better people than Venti. What makes him not work? Just curious. That team is entirely about swirling as much water and as much electro as possible. The problem with that team is you're focusing entirely on getting massive amounts of swirl. You're focusing... Does his Q not swirl a lot? His Q swirls a lot, but at the same time his Q only swirls whatever element you have on them, and you have the whole issue of that's once every 12 seconds. You aren't constantly putting that stuff out. You need to be swirling all the time to get the most out of the team. On top of the fact you're doing Electro Charge, and Sucrose provides a bunch of EM for everyone. And you want to focus on proccing Fischl's A4. No, his Q swirls 7 or 8 times. But that's 7 or 8 times over 8 seconds out of 12 seconds. Come on, Chancho, we've already talked about this. You should know this. The point is, you're not swirling for a bunch of the time that you're out, which means you're losing out on Fischl A4, which is entirely what the comp is based around. And comp is entirely based around having a stacked Fischl. Is it necessary for Fischl has Stringless and Beto has Rain Slasher though? No, it's not. That's just typically the best DPS increase versions of those things. Typically, I think Beto would be better on an energy recharge weapon, and Fischl can work well with Rust, but that's just because Rust is very generic. It helps, but that's just on the damage side. Like, there's no point in having more damage on Rain Slasher if you're ulting once every 40 seconds. like, if you're going unforged, then yeah, go unforged. But it's a big stat stick, but at the same time, you're gonna need energy recharge. Fischl helps, but even then, it's only so much.
Cut the to
Dumpty dumpty go!
No, you are not allowed to exist in this world. Along with me. I mean, you don't need Sucrose anymore, because both of them all are already overloaded on EM. If you're going those particular weapons, kind of. But that's also not overloaded on EM. You have to think, EM doesn't really stop heavily, badly scaling until you hit like 400 or 500 of it. So like, having an EM weapon plus Sucrose still has you under where EM heavily starts dropping off, because it's a very gradual drop off. There is no, this is the amount that you need in order for it to be good, or this is the amount you need in order for it to be bad. It kind of just slowly falls off. Other than crit damage, other than crit, once you hit 100% crit chance, nothing in this game has a sharp fall off. There was not a single one. And I mean, the difference is Animo MC also has swirls on his auto attacks every 5th auto attack. So he isn't quite as good between the two, but he is better suited for that particular comp than Sucrose. I'm sorry, than Venti. But that's just entirely that point. Unless you have Venti C1, in which case Venti aim shots have a potential viability there, but again, If Bennett's on your team, I'm at over 700 EM when Chongyun pops off. And before Sucrose Albedo EM timepiece. Yep. So, I'm going to need to call the first intermission. Dinner's coming back to bite me, so I'm gonna go need to use the men's room. So hopefully you guys can enjoy the emotions track that's playing in the background, and I shall be back momentarily. I have returned.
Howdy. Please, head straight on in.
Thank you very much, Synergy Labs. How are you doing?
Guess where you're from.
Thank you very much, Ian. Experience bucks. Nothing to complain about. That's always good. Always a good thing. And where's the next set of treasures? I have to go each region individually. Each region specific. So, and that one is located in the pass. Okay. Before we do that, we're gonna go do some of the dailies. Neat. And we're going to swap from small emotions off to the jazz, traditional. You know what? No, I like this mix. We're gonna let it run for a while. Let's see how things pan out. Unless chat wants a genre change.
Burst forth. Coming to be.
Burst. Burst. Lower that a bit.
Coming to be. Coming to be.
Okay, so it's all the enemies in here that we gotta get rid of.
Feel the sanctioned power.
That was easy, as always. As we slowly gather the resin that we need to gather GANYU.
Burst forth.
But otherwise, good news, chat. I have decided that I am saving up for an Elgato. Explicitly because Monster Hunter Rise. Is there any new news? Not that I'm aware of. We don't even know what our banner is going to be. But I have found a new leak about what the banner might be, and I really don't like it. But I'm getting an Elgato card explicitly so that I can do some Switch streaming stuff. So once we get some new Switch games, might even do like some Sunday Switch. You know, do like a Monster Hunter Rise stream, or I tried the demo of Rise. Yeah, I tried the first one. I really am finding it interesting. I'm not 100% sure if I fully like it yet, but it's definitely got a... Its looks remind me too much of the old style, and it feels too much like the new style, so it's going to take some getting used to. Why not do World? Because World's already over. What weapon am I playing? I'm probably sticking to what I normally know, so Hammer and Switch Axe was what I mained in World. Longsword does not feel like old Longsword to me, so you still need to deal with all the dodge mechanics, which I'm just not particular to because it isn't on the dodge button. It's a button combination move, and that just does not sit well with my mechanical, physical capabilities. Come hither.
Moments of birth.
Why am I being electrocuted from nowhere? Go away. I'm still getting... No, see, the one thing is I'm really good when it comes to area exploration, so I never had the getting lost issue. But I do understand it.
Adventure time.
And like, yeah, the world comes with its own unique quirks and issues. But at the same time, World was amazing up until Elatrion. Elatrion ruined World for me. Elatrion was the first one in the game that actually did something that I felt was anti-Monster Hunter. And that was having a hard mechanic wall that was entirely based off of equipment. Entirely based off equipment. That's entirely the reason behind it. Locking a wall behind an elemental DPS check is probably the worst anti-Monster Hunter thing, personally, in the game. Hello, Erasmus. Thank you very much for the follow, it's greatly appreciated. How are you doing today? And do you have any questions? It's probably getting electrocuted by the water. I wasn't aware that water could have electricity jump to you. It's the first that's ever happened. But understandable, I guess. That is how electrocharged mechanic kinda works. Have I done 3 of them? I think I've done 3 of them, and then I only have 1 more to do. So before we do that, we're gonna go do the Linkyo Pass. Fatalis was a really good end for an epic fight and a challenging one. Yes. However, I could not do it because I was locked behind Elatrion. Probably using something like Beto. Overseas. How are you doing today? Thank you very much for the follow. It's greatly appreciated. Lots of participations happening.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Moments of birth.
Fucking Hydro.
Wings of dark. Everybody stand back.
Attack the Hydro one, please.
Coming to
Stand back! Oz reveal by... La la la. Da da da. Da da da. Whack!
Yes. This is it.
Oh, hey, treasure. Oh, we're here. That's nice. How are you going to build GANYU? Let's see. There's a period of time where I found water. Yeah, how are you going to build GANYU? Particularly for me, I'm going main DPS, so we're going aimed shots. You hope they fixed Albedo's E. Stupid thing gets stuck at the slightest of uneven terrains and had proximity issues. Yeah. But at the same time, hardware limitations, coding limitations, I can kind of understand it. It sucks, but I can kind of understand it. Am I using him as Venti or Kaching? I'm using him as Venti. He's an E-bot. If you wanna explain it in that method. Yeah, like, it's best time to go for level 90s. E's 55, we already knew that, Erasmus. But it's good to see all the extra data turns out. It turns red when you can't use the elevator. Huh. Neat. They probably erred on the side of caution with his E to prevent terrain breakage from more than people probably have already discovered.
I found a really weird-looking lizard. Want me to show it to you?
Okay. There's the tiny URL with the DR pub. Okay, 2% to 10%. As Venti Kaching, meaning his hyper jump bug, I guess. Oh, is it still around even? But no, not using him for that. I do not have the patience nor the skill to even attempt to make that a regular thing. I am aware I have seen the footage of it. But I thought they got rid of that already. To be fair, there's only 11 AR-55 records counted. Yep. Very fair. But it shouldn't that matter that much. In the grand scheme of things anyways. I would like to hope that they gave a big enough rate there. If they didn't, and the rate's a very minimal increase in the grand scheme of things, it's gonna suck really bad. Just forever trying to get to 90. And 90 is going to be a slog that's gonna suck when it's required. Because it will eventually be required. It's fun for exploration. I mean, technically. Oh, cannot use during combat. Goodbye. Sore teeth suck. I can't get up that way. Oh god, now that I look at it, this region's just as bad, if not worse, than ancient forest. Ow.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Where? Excuse me, kind sir. Hello? Hello?
Come to be.
Hello? Excuse me, sir. What the fuck? There we go. Follow it for the ley line pieces, because that's what's important here. No treasures nearby. Did I get them all? I swear I didn't get them all. Where even are the iron coins kept in my inventory? Frick it. Ah, no, I've got him. I guess I did. I did. Hey, weapon experience materials. I need those. Lake. You just level characters 87, don't ask you why you stopped there. I know why you stopped there. You stopped there because you want those last 3 levels just by killing things, which is going to take you forever. But then you'll have the capability of saying you've done it, which is more than what most people will be able to say. Only character you've bothered to get to 90 at all so far is Albedo. Only character I've bothered to get to 90 is no one. The first character I might do would be Beidou herself, specifically to get her counter to level 13, because that sounds fun. More than anything. But that's specifically there. Solid 1 level per year. Hey, you'll get there eventually.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Moments of birth.
The thing is, you deal reduced damage if character level is too low, but the reduced damage isn't that big. It's like, yeah, it exists, but it's not nearly as big of a deal as you might think it is.
By royal decree.
At least in the grand scheme of things. It isn't necessarily like it's 3% from one thing and then 4% from another. Like, it tallies up going from 80 to 90, averages out to anywhere between 5 and 7% more DPS, which is not insignificant, but at the same time, on one character is 5% more cumulative DPS better than spending that to level 2 characters from 70 to 80. You also take a lot more damage. The tankiness also doesn't help as much. It's still not that big. And like, tankiness already isn't necessarily a concern once you're level 80. The only time tankiness is a concern is once you're 60 out of 70. Even with leveled flowers, you're still like 2-shot, if not 3-shot material. I mean, like, I can pull up the numbers real quick. But it's entirely dependent on your character's defense. 60 versus 90 character versus a level 90 enemy is only a 9.4% total damage increase. Is it? 1 second. Venti sheet. Pretty sure it's more than that, but at the same time that sort of makes sense. 3% per 10 levels. But remember, that's just level difference. Control C. sheets real quick.
Cleo is a brave girl
So
today.
that's 70 out of
I
9.
found a
That's
really
60 out
weird-looking
of 70.
lizard. Want me to show it to you?
That's level 60 versus a level 90 target. And if we add level 90 here, 0.5 equals that divided by that. Yeah, it's a 9.3% increase. But remember, that's 9.3% cumulative damage just from level. Then you have your ascension stat. Then you have your base attack. Then if you're going that far, you probably have a higher leveled weapon. So it all accumulates up, but like still, that's still a lot of difference. But like even going from 80 to 90 is still a
Where are you?
difference. So like that divided by that. It's still like a 3%. Yeah, that's 2.7 to 3%, but that's 3%. Then you get another 2 to 3% for other stuff. It's just going from 80 to 90 is the same cost as getting 2 people from 70 to 80 in it thereabouts, so far as I recall correctly. Back to in-game. As such, you're probably going to get more overall doing it the other way. So you're spending your resources to get everyone up in level. But once you have 8 people, if those are the only 8 people you're going to use, getting them to 90, there is still value. As someone who has purchases the BP and takes it leisurely but consistently, you're going to focus up on leveling your teams to level 70 for the free acquainted fate and other stuff. Yeah, very fair. That's reasonable. I'm probably going to start to look towards slowly doing that because we're not getting any new 4 stars anytime soon. So I can start focusing entirely on just leveling up my turret roster rather than leveling up new units once GANYU comes out. It's just GANYU is currently taking all priority. I came here for a reason. To hand in the dailies.
Add as. Add as.
Dispatch. Let's go. It's kind of worrying that the rate of new 4 stars is slow compared to new 5 stars. I think it was relatively consistent-ish, considering most games you'll get more 5 stars than you'll get 4 stars. That's just how the games work. The issue is they were planning on releasing things in a certain order in the game in terms of what each version of the game was going to give. Well, we're going to get huge batches, but essentially how I figured is they were going to trickle feed us some every so often. So, like, we had Rosaria planned eventually at one point, based off what the leaks were. We had another unit that was going to be paired with Rosaria. I'm pretty sure that was another Inazuma Pyro. I think it was Pyro Polearm, but it could have been something else. But there was another Inazuma character planned with Rosaria at some point to be a 4-star, and they were going to be 4 stars in 1.4. Toma, I think is what his name was. It's like you're going, everything is planned at the end of the day. The problem is the plans didn't go to plan. They were planning on launching Inazuma at 1.4 or 1.5. I'm pretty sure it was 1.5 was the plan. 1.5 was the plan for Inazuma, but they're changing the story up a bit, which means they have to push it back to 1.6. Since they're pushing it back to 1.6, all of a sudden, they've got 2 banners they can't run. Or they don't have the units to run on. And they probably had already planned on doing reruns for 5-star units. To give them more time to work on all the Inazuma ones and make sure they were properly decked out. So, now they're moving some of the 4 stars into being 5 stars. So 1.4 was the original, then it moved to 1.5, but that was understandable. Then story reasons happened, yeah. To 1.6. Time to prep more for... See, that's the problem, is we don't even know if we're getting Raiden. We don't even know, because based off of the leaks, since they're changing the story, based off the leaks that were there in how the story was originally planned, Raiden was dead. Raiden did not exist. However, remember, leaks, that's not confirmed. It could be anything now. But there is a chance that some of the Archons we just don't get. It is a she. We don't know.
City wall,
We don't know.
grounded be thy woe.
We have zero idea because they're changing it. How the story was in beta is not how it currently is going to be.
Be doomed. Those are the survival rules that the Knights of Favonius gave me.
Yeah, like for bad leaks, for example. Exactly. But Rosaria was thrown in the batch with all the 4 stars. Albedo was shown separately. So the fact people thought Albedo was a bow, or the people who thought that Albedo was going to be a 4-star, didn't make sense. Because the group of all the 4 stars, so the 4 stars we have confirmed, Yao Yao, Sayu, Rosaria was shown in that team. Hu Tao was not shown in that team, I'm pretty sure. Or Hu Tao was part of those 4 stars and is now being made 5-star, again due to needing more banner space. Do we know if Scaramouche will come out? A Scaramouche will come out. I guarantee you, every region we go, we will get the Archon if they have an Archon, because they might not have an Archon, and then we will get the Fatui at some point.
Wind go with you.
Her model was shown there, just a very early version of it, yeah. And see, the thing is that entire list there was leaked with initial plans. This was back in 1.0. So, remember, leaks, grain of salt. Plans 1.0 has changed. When 1.0 launched, they were planning 1.5. Then they realized we gotta change stuff, it's gonna be 1.6. We need to fill banner space, so they made her a 5-star. And that's what they're doing. So basically, exactly what I'm saying is, the characters that were 4 stars are being made 5 stars. A, because of business, and B, probably because they don't have room currently to run many 4 stars, because they need everybody on deck to be a 5-star to fill in the gaps that they've made for themselves. Oh, hey! Thank you. But yeah, that's the thing. Double Sealy. Yep, double Sealy. There was a big rumor about Ludi Harp past him in the 1.4, but it could be fake. Leaks are hit and miss wherever it comes from. I have my own sources. They're typically fairly accurate, so I'm going under the assumption that Rosaria is now a 5-star. But other than that, no idea. Like you see with Hu Tao. That's another 4. That's another. That's plus 8. Oh, is that how it works? Plus 4. Plus 4. Anyone can make bullshit up. Yeah. However, the track record of my source is... I'm not going to say perfect, because it isn't. But that's mainly because the track record of my source is sourced based off what the game state is, and the game state changes. Like, the developers, what they plan, change based off of, oh crap, we need to fill in 6 weeks worth of banner with new characters because we're changing up the story and we need the extra room. So, like, how do you fix that? Is one of the big questions. And it's, you gotta fill in the gaps based off of the previous units. Epic 7 had that issue, where a lot of their original, like, planned released 4 stars in throughout how the game released just became 5 stars. Or some of their planned 3 stars, which were going to launch partway through the game as free-to-play units, became 5 stars. And the good ones tend to be data miners. Yeah, he could be a data miner, but I don't want to say any more, but the source I have has more connections beyond just being a data miner. Because at that point, Honey Hunter is as accurate as would be as accurate as my source. But Honey Hunter doesn't have access to the information my source does. There it is. Found all the iron coins hidden within this area. Next. Ooh. We're heading down here. Did I get to play GANYU from beta? No. I personally do not like looking into doing the betas, explicitly for the reason of that will mar my experience. From going, hey, things changed. I'm going to have a negative connotation because this character is worse than they were in beta. I loved them while they were in beta. Why are they not as powerful as they were in beta? Like, with Zhongli, that could have been a thing. Or other characters, that could be a thing. I just want to avoid that, so I don't do the betas. Banner confirmed? When was the banner confirmed? Well, that's just Damon Kim being Damon Kim. Link? Max Sally? Link, please. Link, Plix.
Adventure time. My royal decree.
All over Reddit. I asked Sally for the link. Not everyone else has to go grab it. Honestly, I like that banner more. Nice. Hello, Lee. How are you doing? I am 100% okay with this banner, because that means all 3 characters I can have at C6. Morning, Elegance. How are you doing today? Am I the only one who looks at that banner and it's like, I'm glad I didn't purchase the Zhongling copy? Literally, the person I have the highest on that list is Jing Cho, and he's C3. What is with everyone calling it garbage? At least there's not Barbara. Remember, there could have been Barbara. Any thoughts on XQ constellations? They're all good. All of them are good. Lisa will never be on these banners. Get it through your thick skull. XQ, XL, and Noel. All banners are all constellations are worthwhile. This is an amazing banner. I mean, if you don't like her, don't use her. 100% reasonable. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's bad. Or her constellations aren't bad. Because they aren't. They're really good. Her constellations are ridiculous. They're huge.
By royal decree.
Coming to be.
I'm still screwing up my character swaps even now. Up top? Probably up top. Oh. Noelle is meh. I have her C6 and she's great for overall domains, but falls off compared to better C6 units. But remember where Noelle starts. You're like, she falls off better than other units. But her C0 versus other units C0, she falls off. You have to look at the overall gain a constellation gives her to see whether it's worth it. If a character goes from, you're just better off not using her, to, she's good, but can be overshadowed, that's a fairly good gain. XLC2 is his second best constellation, just FYI. There it is.
Another test subject. Fry!
Going in.
Wish me good. I got picked.
Yes, heal, Mikely. Oh, XL's... Oh. I misread that at Jingcho. Leave me alone. They all start with X.
Dodoko? Dodoko, where
And you're like, her C2's a bit meh? Her C2's not bad. It means you can actually use her to auto-attack and not completely be crap.
La la la.
What are the 4-star weapons? Bell is one of them? Ew. Okay, nope, I'm not rolling on the weapon banner. I do not want a Bell copy. I already have 2. I do not need another one. It's 32. We're heading in the right direction. Any growth go in this direction? Nope. No growth. Can someone link weapon banner? Yeah, that would be great. The current weapon banner is pretty good, yeah. Not gonna lie, yeah, you are correct. Co-op challenge! Here's the co-op. Okay. Looks like Bell, Saxor, Dragon's Bane, Eye of Perception, and I think that's a Fav bow. That's good. Also, Skyward Pride is really, really, really good. That's really good 5 stars on the banner. The 4 stars are hit and miss. Sack Sword is solid, Eye of Perception solid, Dragon's Bane is solid considering there's only 1 out of 2 people who can use it. Amos Bow and Skyward Pride are both amazing. Hello, Ninja! How are you doing? Okay, weapon banner looks like it's going to be hit and miss. I don't know if I'll roll it. Depends on how many copies of GANYU, how early I get them. I might try and go for ammo spell, but we'll have to wait. The weapon banner is good-ish. The existence of Bell makes it, meh. Bored. You're still stuck down south? That sucks. Skyward is not on the same tier as Skyward? Oh, it is. 100% is. Depends on how bad C2 GANYU goes for me. Oof. Do you need more recommendations on things to read while you're stuck here? I got it! Nah, still going. Okay, that's good. At least you've got something to do. And wham. Soon, probably. Understandable. So I did the challenge. Did I get anything for it? Should I go for Blizzard or Troop? Either. They're both viable. You get 50k more. Okay. Understandable. Oh. You've been actively pushing an E7 arena? Reasonable. But that challenge was available for co-op, which gives everyone some reward. Should have told me!
I hear the voice of fate.
Unless you're that far behind, in which case, oof. You're trying for a frame. I mean, at that point, when you're that far into Epic 7, yeah, you go for your frames. You go for the things that you care about. You play Asia. Understandable. And then there's another gate. Where is that gate? I swear I remember seeing it. I remember it. I just can't remember where. Oh, Bright Crown can't. You had to tell me. I was going to enjoy looking for it. I don't need a hint. It's already given me the hint. I know where it is. Ish. Yeah, freaking damn it, chat. Yeah, 3 pigs is pretty good. You had to look around for a little while. This one's not hard, the image tells it all. The image tells you freaking nothing. All the image tells you is this. Oh, another co-op challenge. Okay. I assume this one is also co-op? And if this one is co-op, does anybody want some free rewards? You don't think this one's co-op? Oh. It gives Primos. Ah.
By royal decree.
wasn't that hard. Free primos! Oof, oof. Well, it's supposed to be a challenge. Understandable. Not that it was that hard, but I have pyros. At least you in practice get to practice the Ganyu playstyle when you pop shields with Fischl. Yeah, you can say that. That is in a way to look at its existence. But yeah, that's the event done. Are we guaranteed to get Sealy, or do you have to save up for Sealy? Like, are we going to cap out on this? Are we going to completely be able to purchase everything in the shop? Probably, now that I think about it. If we go to the event details, we have unlocks in 4 hours, and then it continues downwards. Oh yeah, we've got more than enough. Okay. Which means you give you only get one Sealy, yes, but I was making sure that you had enough to clean out the entire shop, because I did not scroll down. The game only lets you buy one? Yeah, or it explains that when you click on the Sealy. And wait, did you say between blue and fold a Sealy? Which one's fold? Which one's fold? Ganyu gameplay? We've already seen Ganyu gameplay. We don't need to see Ganyu gameplay, we know. Oh, gold. Gold gang. Ah. We have seen the Ganyu banner, soybean paste. It is a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Like, yeah, give me. Oh, I'm probably going for Rose. What's the Ganyu banner? It's Ganyu, Zhongling, Xingqiu, and Noel. Ramos, I'll time you out. Noel is also great. Yep, XQ. There is an XQ. There is an XQC, Water Twink. Why is streaming so much fun? You guys are great. Really make my day. What crit rate is optimal for Ganyu? Depends on the set. Depends on the set and how you're planning on playing her. Personally, how I would like to play her? Do you get anything from me Ewing credits? If it's Ganyu DPS, you say 0? That depends on how you want to build her. I'm probably building her with 100% crit rate. And by 100% crit rate, I mean I'm giving her like 20 to 30. And then calling it a day because cryo set. And her A1 passive. And cryo resonance just means she'll have 100% crit rate, so I can just crit everything and not have to worry about aiming for the other stuff. But that's also on frozen enemies. It's only 60% if they're not frozen, which is where I'm going to plan on sitting, so I'm planning on giving her about 30 to 40%. I wonder if every XQ banner in the... I wonder if every XQ banner, if the weapon banner will have sack sword. I mean, I'm still tempted to roll weapon banner because I need a sack sword. But at the same time, I don't because I have Skyward Blade. What do you think about her charge attack multiplier? I think it's not out yet, so we can't say anything for certain. Because this game has been known to change things on release day. So we will have to take with grain of salt. It does not exist until it exists, and it has not yet existed yet. Yeah, currently on the banner, it's Pride, not Blade, which is 100% good. I could use having a Skyward Pride. If I had Skyward Pride, that would go on Beidou instead of Wolf's Gravestone. Hands down, 100%. Honey did not fully predict his release date. They came close. It's not necessarily equal to his cooldown, but it's close enough that it's reasonable. I got ping real quick. From where? Kekmains, theory crafting. Is that the numbers that I asked for from Hale? Let's move this over so I can keep track of it. Hello, Hale. How are you doing? We have cancel tech. Ooh. Albedo got higher talent values on his echoes too. Yeah, there's that. Yeah, AI got some pretty hefty pre-launch buffs. And he kind of needed them. 100%. He kind of really needed them.
Ready for a rehearsal?
Yes, I am. Yeah, looks like for characters with short recovery frames, basically end the combo string lets you start another. Yep. I've already, if you're talking about the Albedo walk cancel from N1 N2, I've already known about that for like 3 weeks since I last tested her frame data. You basically normal 1, normal 2, walk, normal 1, normal 2, walk, normal 1, normal 2, walk. I've known about it for like a month. Unless you're talking about normal 1 to normal 4 walk, which is when you have C4. Or sorry, A4, and then you proc A4. Then normal 1 to normal 4 is the best frame database thing.
Everybody stand back!
Ow, no.
Burst forth. Witness a great undertaking.
I think this thing can actually...
Everybody stand back! Water gliding is time for takeoff.
No, you're not allowed.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
I knew that Clee could roll, yes.
Off we go!
You need movement speed to make it consistent.
Witness a great undertaking.
La la la!
Also, sorry if I'm not chatting as much with chat like I normally am. I'm in a bit of a pickle, and by in a bit of a pickle, I mean the difficult content. And by difficult content, I'm in the content where ADD-addled me has to focus. It's not just a short hop, because I've done it, because even with short hop, it's not consistent. Go away. It's like, I don't have movement speed. Hello, Crash McLarge Huge. If you're here to spread Genshin knowledge and advice, you've come to the place to receive it, not to give it. But welcome to the Gleeful Crew, where advice is given and received by anyone and everyone. I will be right back. And I have returned. My mission lies elsewhere. But I will watch a bit, though, because you are a fellow Kleemane. Well, welcome, Kleemane. Crap Cup. And Crap Flower. Okay, Feather? Bad Sands. Bad Sands. Ba-da-bip-bip. Poor Lawaturo getting juggled by those sparks. Yep. Kind of what Klee does. I think it's safe to assume Kleeful knows X mechanic. I don't know every mechanic. Like, the moment you start talking about Electrocharge, my knowledge goes out the window. Can I maybe showcase the Klee section Cho Vape combos? I can after this run.
Burst forward.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Feel the sage of power.
Time for takeoff. Dumpy, dumpy, teamwork is dreamwork.
Burst forward.
Yahoo! Teamwork is dreamwork.
Okay. Who am I farming for? Ganyu. Ganyu with a side of Mona. But, let's see. Can I showcase the combo? Yes, we are. Farming. I am farming for Ganyu parts, because I only have one good piece so far. And Mona's on the side. The true reason Lost Prayers Klee's best in slot is because she always jumps rolls. No. The jump roll is only really useful in the most micromanagey of positioning on Klee, which is really, really powerful, but requires a lot of player skill. So it's probably only there for the super high skill cap players. To be fair, does even Kaching mains have a concrete idea of how EC works? They have a concrete idea, and I understand most of it, but there's always more that we're finding out. They're still testing it. But yeah, what Hale says is 100% correct. Jump rolling is just cute. Oh, okay. They have a dock on it, and from what I get, it's too messy for them to work it out at the moment. I mean, it's close. We're close enough. It's more just a matter of trying to figure out reset mechanics on it right now. But if you're just talking about you landed EC, how does that EC last? We know that. That was almost a good hat. That's a good feather. That's a bad goblet. It's, It took like 7 months to make the ghost bomb math for Azurlane. Amos released at the same time as GANYU? Who would have thought? Go back to that goblet, please. What goblet? I mean... this one? With fairly good substats. Yeah, you're right. That might go for Noel, so I'm keeping it. Actually, no. Albedo's not going to be happy because he has Geo %. But we are going to lock it. We're going to lock it just in case. But the fact that it's not Geo % hurts a lot. Where's that feather? There's that feather. Mona feather, let's go. Does Klee have a Q animation cancel? She does, but it's very, very minimal, so it doesn't matter too much. Basically, you mash space and you will dash out of it like 5 frames early or something like that. It's not the largest thing in the world. We might get a Def Hydro character, it would be nice. So it's there, but at the same time, then you would want Hydro %. I mean, you don't even need to learn it, you just need to dash just before the camera pans, and you start your dash like 2 frames early or something. Oh well. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. Huh? Keep. That's for GANYU. Keep. That's for GANYU. In before all HP. Please don't do this to me, Erasmus. It's okay. We're good. But I'm happy we got a good Mona flower. I mean feather. It's not a flower, it's a feather. Thank you, Erasmus. Pog. Not worth. Not worth. Not worth. One of these I'm going to save. Yeah, that one's the one I'm going to save. Save that one just in case. And that one goes down the toilet. Crit Petra circlets. Oof. GANYU's banner super trash. I will mute you. I will time you out if you keep calling her banner trash. Her banner's not trash. Her banner being trash, and I quote, if her banner was trash, and I quote, it would have Barbara on it. It does not have Barbara, thus it is not trash. I mean, fair. Free revive is nice, but I'm pulling for C1. I have C5 of her, and I want C1 of GANYU. I'm pulling a lot of GANYU. I don't want C11 Barbara. What are the 3 worst 4 stars for a banner? It depends on the person, but my personal take would probably be Noelle because she's niche, Jin Yan because she's niche, unless you get C2, but even then she's still niche, and Barbara. So the worst banner I can think of would probably be Barbara, Noelle, Xinyan. Hey, someone agrees with me! Barbara, Noelle, Xinyan. What sand would you go for on a carry, Bennett? Either depends. If you're melting a lot, EM. If you're melting a lot and you're using Festering Desire, EM. If you're using like basically with carry Bennett, you still want about 140 to 150% energy recharge. So either look for it in your subs or get it in either your hourglass or your weapon. So recommendation personally is go Festering Desire, use an attack or an EM Hourglass, depending on if you're going Melt or not, and then just normal DPS build with Pyro set and with Witches set and Pyro Goblet. And that's carry Bennett, but even then you're using carry Bennett as a swap center rather than just on-field auto-attacking all the time. So you want to boost the Pyro because you're going to be using the Pyro more than the melees, unless you're using him as an auto-attack DPS monster that you're just sitting there because you're super lazy, in which case, I mean, you could go physical. You can't get Amber on character, but you can't get any of the starters on character banner, which sucks so much. And let's go, good roll! Shit. Oh well. R2 Iron Sting is, I have Aquila, and you're planning on to do lots of melt. R2 Sting is also available. So either you go Iron Sting and you gun for R5 Iron Sting and you never let Iron Sting leave him, or you go Festering Desire. Those are the 2 weapon choices if you're going melt. The reason why I say Xinyan is just because she's very niche in her use case. More so than the other niche use cases. Currently. Doesn't mean she's bad, it just means she's niche in her use case. Do I have Lumine or Aether? I have Aether.
I'm so happy. Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you?
We only have 3 party cleanses in the game, and one of them's 5-star. Diona's a party cleanse. Ish. It's just not on demand, you just have to swap to them quickly. But Diona shields can cleanse other party members. Xinyan can cleanse other party members. Bennett can cleanse other party members. Jean can cleanse other party members. It still cleanses. It still exists. Down the Martial Feather for the Cryo Feather. I mean the Hydro Feather. Do I have her on Hydro stuff already? No. Okay. Where's that feather? I want to do it this way because I get good visuals. Fast equipped. Mona. More attack. Loses crit damage. Gains crit rate. Elemental mastery and energy recharge. All of which is important. And don't I have another Hydro set piece of something somewhere being made? Elemental Mastery Sands or Attack. This one has more energy recharge. With crit rate versus crit damage and stuff. I want the crit rate more. Fast equipped on Mona. How much does she lose? She loses a bit of attack, gains a whole bunch of stuff. Let's go. Give. Does Bennett need 2 Q procs to Clean's 411 debuff? No idea. The thing is, Diona offers huge shielding, healing, and is also a battery. Yep. Bennett's tick rate is slower than Xinyan? No. Xinyan's cleanse, at least unless they changed it, its tick rate is entirely based on swap. Bennett's is slower than just on swap, but it's based off his own tick rate, so it gives multiple times per character without swapping characters out. So it's up and down. And now we're doing this Xingqiu comp because somebody wanted to see Xingqiu. Xingqiu. Also, thank you very much for the follow, Edgar. It's greatly appreciated, helps the channel out a lot. Also, Ninja, we're almost at 60 viewers again. Help. I'm growing. I don't know how to stop it. Xingqiu.
Justice.
Venti or Zhangli?
Give me a moment to
Venti.
compose myself.
What's the name of this song? I know it's great, right? It is called Spring Morning by Peter Sandberg. And then there's also the electro shockwave. Yeah, there's so much going on in that specific floor of just you can get electro from anywhere that you can't reliably, with even the best cleanser, fully cleanse all the time. It's nice to have, but it doesn't completely solve your problem everywhere. My issue is that Hydro does not cleanse it even if it causes damage to you. You can't electrocharge yourself and immediately get rid of it because it sticks around because of how electrocharge works. Ow.
Time for takeoff.
Stop with your stupid bullshittery.
Everybody stand back. It's gonna hurt in the morning. Feel my sword. Witness the power. That really hurt. Adventure time.
Having to constantly dodge. Just leave him alone. Get Xingqiu ultimate back up. Go attack, attack, charge, charge, charge. It started with Pyro to begin with. Bad.
Rain outlines your fate. Everybody stand back.
A nom. Let's see. If they introduce Hydro debuff to Abyss, you'll cry and be kind of happy because it seems like it'll be a challenge. Yeah. Wait, does it have the Electro status at all, Leechu? Literally just thought it was because of the pulse applying a special kind of Electro. Huh. Hydro debuff makes quick swap comps go rip. Yep. Not just heavily, it doubles. Doubles is heavily. Which is super bad because it also means way less ult. Yep. Someone like Albedo, it becomes 8 seconds. Double is pretty disgusting. It's by far the worst debuff in the game. Yeah, it's just double. Feels so much longer. Yep.
It's way worth it because the fish tastes so.
And let's see, what do we get? One more chance. One more attempt. All the ER goes to waste. Cup. It's attack. So, I mean, I might. I mean, I don't have any. I have a 4-star cryo. So we'll have to wait and see if it'll belong to me. Okay. Not a Chongyun, man. But how does he fare with Hydro debuff? He sucks. It's pretty bad. So bad with it. Like, the only one who's really good against it, if you initially start into it, and you ult off cooldown, is Bennett. So long as you take damage, you can keep the debuff off you, meaning you can maintain pure cooldowns. Bennett is the best thing for that debuff, if you take damage. Was Venti ult always able to CC Abyss mages through shields when they spawn in? I believe so. If Chongyun is the main DPS who can support him, literally anyone who does damage. Okay, it's been almost 3 hours. It's what, 11? I do want to get to work on the video at some point today. Okay. Finished that. What else do we need for GANYU? Go save some resin. Bennett is freaking fantastic for it. Clea is also good because it feels like she's not reliant on her cooldowns to deal damage. She's not necessarily... She's less reliant on her cooldowns to deal damage. But at the same time, having an E once every 40 seconds feels super nasty. It just feels super nasty. Lisa's one of my favorites. Just because constant electro charge on autos. Huh. Yeah, I think that's everything in this game to do. Because I've already done all my monster farming before stream. That was before I went to bed. I wish I didn't get enough sleep.
When you're high up, everyone can hear your voice.
Oh yeah, enhance with crystal chunks. Your buff is movement speed and attack, and it boosts your attack up to 64. There could be a level differential with the suck. There's definitely a possibility for that there. Boosting that is useless. Obtaining this is useless as of right now. Okay. So we have that. That might actually be worth getting up to plus 20. In preparation. But what I should do... Go take a quick look at characters. Kaya. You currently have an exile cryo damage bonus. Cryo damage bonus. So we have a royal urn, which is on Diona. Has possibility. Ooh. 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 This could be good. Could. Probably not. We'll have to wait and see. No, that's the different mix. I want to go back. I want to continue listening to Small Emotions because it's so good. So good. The thing about Sucrose here is a knock-up. It works a bit different. Yeah, definitely works a bit different. Wait, is that a... Keep? Come on. Come on. Crit damage. Crit damage. HP. So we've got one with Elemental Mastery, which would be really good as an offset, but it's 4-star. We've got a 5-star. The Exile's not worth it, so we've got these 3 to pick from. But Bounce House works at level 60. Yes, it does. Bounce House is more of a knock-up rather than anything else. Yeah, we're about done. Which is good. And as such, based on what we know and what I need to get done... Also, hello, Kingdred. How are you doing? But, yeah, turns out today is probably...
Clee was a brave girl today.
Kaya with Exile Scholar was entirely built just to be an alt bot. Entirely there just to be an alt bot. That's it. That's just what I have. He's like level 50. He's just there for that stuff. I gave that to him like... week 3 of the game? And that's it? Something like that. It's nice to have.
Welcome to Mondstadt.
But yeah, it looks like I'm probably going to wind up cutting streams short today. I want to spend the extra time because tomorrow I ain't streaming. And I'm not going to be home much. Since I'm not going to be home much, I'm not going to be able to work on the video tomorrow much. So I'd like to get a bunch of work done on it today so it can go live Monday before we do stream Tuesday. Also, when the video goes live Monday, make sure to watch it on the YouTube channel, specifically because it'll also have link to a survey as to when I should best stream my polls. Because I might go live and just start running GANYU numbers beforehand. Or, you know, go live later into the night or go live earlier than normal. We'll have to wait and see. That's all dependent on what you guys answer on the survey to when best to fill everyone's time slots. But it's been a good 3-hour stream. We got a really, really, really good piece for Mona. Like, hands down alone, this feather is going to be huge on her. But yeah, we're going to drop the stream so I can get to work on getting the video edited. Because I've got a lot of the lines written and spoken. It's just I actually need to start working on the video proper. So thank you all guys for showing up like you normally do. Your support is greatly appreciated as always. And I look forward to seeing you all when we do the GANYU pulls. So thank you very much, Seb. Thank you, Kruskull. Thank you, Kindred, for showing up. Same with you, Ian, and Executioner. Bye.